do you both hire like your own drivers? Your drivers are your employees. You don't use any sort of outside service or a Uber, DoorDash, like any
Good
of that.
question. What are you guys doing, Randy?
So we are purely employee driver at this point. What I will say is, and I like to be on the bleeding edge. I don't like to be on the leading edge. I like to be try and stay a step ahead of where people are going. And what I would like to do is potentially be a little bit more opportunistic during the weekends. And with that, use third party delivery for times which we're unable or not willing to staff it. And yet, during our primary pickup and delivery windows, stick within our own drivers purely.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? So it's a
Yeah.
little bit of a hybrid maybe, and we're not there. I've been thinking about it for a while, just because we get those calls on the weekend, and we're staffed to handle it on the weekend. So what it comes down to, I just have to get the customer to us. And if they're hesitant to drive it to us, if they're willing to pay for it, why shouldn't we take that business?
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with that. We would charge more for weekend service or emergency trips or whatever. And we have our own staff, but maybe what's a little different with us and Randy is we have like 3 lines of defense. Okay. So we have our full-time driver, somebody that we have that does that. And then we have a supervisor. So they're trained to at least cover for the driver if something happens to the driver. And then we have the owner. So we have 3 lines of defense to make sure that somebody is always going to be available, no matter whether it's COVID or some other diversion like that. We've always got somebody available to make sure to do a pickup and delivery if that's what the customer needs.
Still got that minivan, huh, Rob?
The minivan blew up, sadly. The timing belt on it broke and it blew up after I had about 200,000 miles on it. We drive mostly Sprinter vans now. We have Sprinters, and those are the ones that are tall enough that you can stand up in them. And all I can say is, once you get one of those, you never go back. Being able to stand up in a van versus crawling around in a van, especially in Houston when it's 100 degrees outside, makes a world of difference.
Yeah.
So you're running, I was going to ask you, so you're running the high top or mid top?
High top Sprinters, yes, sir.
Yeah.
Sprinters are great, by the way. They're expensive and all that, but we have the diesels, and believe it or not, they average 20 miles a gallon or more. So they're really hard to beat on the fuel economy. A traditional Chevy van, the lower ones, they only get like 12, 13 miles a gallon. So the Sprinters drive like a car. I kid you not. I'd be perfectly comfortable asking my wife or anybody else to drive it. It's really big and looks scary, but it drives just like a car.
So we are not to the Sprinters yet, but we're directionally going to go there. We have a minivan that we started with doing primarily residential. We grew into a cargo van, extended like a carpet van kind of a thing. And then we eventually got to the point where we needed a box truck. So we now have 3 unique vehicles, and we route them based upon the customer type. So we're not running a box truck to pick up a residential bag. We're running the right vehicle for the right route, which zones really help us out with that, being we can take driver A and give them the smaller, medium-sized stuff, driver B, put in the mid-sized stuff, driver C, going for the biggest of the big, and with the right vehicle.
So I presume your box truck has a lift gate on it or something like that, and you're rolling buggies on and off of it.
Yeah, we're rolling the same size buggies as what you'd find in a hospital. If interested in the term is P72, 72P. It's just a very large. It's probably a 5.5 foot tall bin that we can put 12 of those on our box truck.
Oh, wow. It's a big truck.
That's not the biggest. That's the small one. I didn't want to go 26 foot. That's only a 16-foot box truck. So we were a little bit shy on the air brakes and some of the other things associated with the ones that the true big box companies drive every day.
Although even the 26-footers have automatic transmissions. I've rented them from time to time. And again, they're a lot different to drive. But again, it's not, you don't need a CDL. You don't need a CDL license for them. So that's a big thing with hiring drivers.